everyone. Welcome back to the Runway podcast. My name is Gunama Donsela, the host of the Runway podcast. We are broadcasting live from Maano Media Studios, and this podcast is in partnership with Opulentia. Today, we have got an amazing guest. You're going to hear this quite a lot, okay? Just bear with us. But I do really mean it when I say all of my guests are amazing. So you just need to stay along for the ride. Today, I have got Mr. Banks.
Yes.
Okay, that's not just an AKA. That is who he is. That is his brand, and his name is Talifhani. I'm trying to pronounce it correctly, but he's the owner of Analytics Advertising and now owner of Analytics X. We're gonna get to know all about it. Let's welcome Mr. Banks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Somebody
Always
should
great.
have that.
Always
Yeah.
great.
Welcome.
To be in the house of greatness.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm always so nervous when I talk to you. I don't know why, but you really do have this aura of that Banks energy. That like.
Even when I'm in the continent, they connect with me.
Do they?
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
continental.
It's international. Banks, there's so much to cover with you. You are a phenomenal businessman. You, obviously founder, pioneer, this whole data analytics and intelligence. Now we're moving on to Analytics X. For those people who don't know, just for those few, I'm sure that people know you. What is Analytics Advertising? And then also, let's talk a little bit about that Analytics X, which is now next level.
Okay, so my story starts from Louis Richard, where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And I graduated matric in, some years back, and I went to University of Pretoria. I majored in statistics and econometrics, more mathematical. And as I solved these mathematical problems, I realized something happened in my mind that we need to solve for X in real life. And when I started corporate, I worked for Massmart. Massmart, I was working under Macro. I was a private label analyst. So a private label analyst, somebody who analyzes all the brands that are in the Macro store on performance. And then I moved to Pick and Pay. In Pick and Pay, I was a pricing analyst. Pricing analyst is somebody who priced the products that are on the shelf. And he makes deals with the suppliers, the Nestle's and all that. But he talks to the buyers to cut the price. And his mind is on the market, on the ShopRite, on the Checkers and Woolies and how they're moving. So because of that, I'm understanding the business. And I moved to a company called Growhair. They do something else. I implemented an analytics department. Then my last job was at AutoZone. I was reporting to the CEO. I was 27. And I looked at it, I was like, what other level is in corporate for me? I couldn't see it. There was no way I saw myself as a CEO. It was going to take a long time. So I had to think about it, and I said, if I have to take risk, it should be now. In 2017, started Analytics Advertising. The idea was to build a data technology company that connects science, art, and heart. What I mean is you need to use numbers to understand the overall what is happening around content and whatever. And you need to connect with people from their heart. Everything around now, it's about data, it's about technology, it's about AI. And I wanted to be the solution at that time. It's just that by the time we start, people were not awakened to data and analytics. It sounds very much foreign.
Yeah.
But when I was working at Massmart, I connected with a lot of international. I traveled a lot when I was I used to work for a company when I was in Massmart called Damon Worldwide. It was an international company from US, Connecticut. Those are the guys who connected me to international mindset and how guys are doing. So I already knew what is coming before anything else. I didn't want to connect, I didn't want to argue, but I just knew. So when we're starting analytics, we knew that it's going to take some time for people to connect, but our target market is B2B, it's corporates. Corporates already knew what is happening. That's why you see the smart shop or the brand merch, the whatever's, you know what I mean. And the idea was to build technological solutions that will help sustain large corporations internally. So we've built some technologies that we can't talk about them, but they are sustaining a large corporation like a PPC Cement. And it's across the continent, not just here. And after you've built a multiple of solutions and you're helping them in a large way, you ask yourself, what else within the continent can I do? And you realize same thing you've done here can work global. And I've been building solutions that are competing globally. That's why I'm coming from Russia.
Yeah.
And now when we talk about Analytics X, without saying so much, but Analytics X is a representation of who I am. Analytics Advertise is a representation of my corporate.
Okay.
Analytics X, AX, it's a representation of my greatness. I can bet you, put it there, I can put 100 grand on it. I'm about to do what hasn't been done. The person who motivated me to do business is Steve Jobs. I read everything about Steve Jobs, everything. And I haven't seen anybody who matched Steve Jobs after he passed. That's what I'm trying to do.
Sure. This, for somebody who's watching and is thinking, this is big talk, Banks.
Yeah.
How do you literally build a company that provides, especially in the data space? Are you dealing with software?
Yes.
Is it some form of
So,
AI intelligence?
Yes. So you have a team of software engineers, data engineers, robotic process engineers,
Yeah.
and data scientists. So software guys build the technology.
Yeah.
And the data engineers, they migrate the data of what was existing, and they build the pipelines, the APIs. The data science analyze the information and tell you what it means, whether it's categorical is like whether it's words, or whether it's numerical, or whether it's numbers. But what you're trying to do is to make sense of words. I don't know if you remember when Trump was becoming a president, there was a company called Analytica that was analyzing the sentiments of what people are saying.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what we can do with analytics advertising, depending on what you're solving. Whether it's internal systems, whether it's digital, we can scrap the data and tell you what the sentiment is. That's why things that we do, I can't say it out. I have to keep quiet.
Yeah.
So a guy will say, "Well, I don't understand." Yes, you don't, because if I put you in calculus class, you're not going to make it. But I don't have to say what it is exactly we're doing, but I can say it's numerical. We're trying to make sense of numbers and help companies make data-driven decisions to move forward.
Yeah. To obviously improve the bottom line.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
So we've got, we run on two departments. There's a department of science, so we run on science, art, and heart. So science is software,
Love that,
data
by the way.
engineering, and data science, anything science.
Yeah.
Remember, if you come to analytics, you've seen them.
Yeah.
Guys are from actuarial science, engineering, aerospace. What is an aerospace guy doing there? He's thinking, solving problems. So, and then on science, art, on the art, we've built a department now in marketing. That's what I was telling you about. Some companies probably recognize us through their payments that we've been doing.
Okay.
We've done a lot of big payments to a lot of platforms.
Hey, Banks, now I'm going to get into the what I consider the juicy part. Without trying to sound shallow, Banks, we had a Zoom meeting, and I invited Benkala. I was just like, Banks, what is going on? This is, the maths is not mathsing. So I'm like, hey, I need a maths guy to come and help me solve this. And I was so blown away at your level of openness. Like you've done, I feel like you've done the work.
I'm not trying to prove a point.
You're not trying to prove a point. Like things are just are. And so that is a different energy for me, because for me it's like, I'm doing all these things. Why aren't things? So you're one of the first people that made me say, like, just pause and just realize, but no, actually, this thing is simple,
Yes.
like numbers, like you shouldn't worry about whatever getting money. I must impact people. I must make sure that the runway is solving problems. And that's the kind of thinking that you have. And then the money is then a byproduct of you solving problems.
Money follows solution.
Money follows solutions. Yes, I was looking for those exact words. And you've impressed that so much on me. So I believe you are providing solutions now, right? Do you finally consider yourself like you're successful now? Like have you made it? You're playing with the big boys now?
No. Compared to everyone else who's here, I'm doing better. That's why,
Okay.
But, man, I haven't reached any point. Like, I want to touch the continent. When I travel every time outside and you talk about Africa, a person is already thinking something negative about it. It hasn't been branded right. And that's why you see me talking Mensa Musa. Mensa Musa is one person that can represent the continent. I don't know if you know Mensa Musa.
No, I'm not aware of it, no.
In the 12th century, there was a guy called Mensa Musa, one of the richest men in there globally. He was worth 400 billion in today's time. Nobody can match him. He was supplying gold and salt. He was from Africa, Mali. That's the guy we represent now, as we're doing whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
So I want to walk in his shoes. I don't know how far I can go, but what I'm trying to say is knowledge comes from the continent. When you talk music, when you talk mathematics, when you talk anything, comes from the continent. If you go to Ethiopia, you will see in one of the libraries all the knowledge that comes from here. But because you are not branded right and nobody ever set and represent you, nobody will know that the knowledge comes from you. When I'm walking, I'm not trying to prove a point to you. I'm trying to rewrite the history of what is going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why you see what the Kanyes are doing, and they're starting to walk in that. So what I'm seeing, which is my goal, is to do something remarkable that will represent the continent globally. Yeah.
And you're already doing that.
Yes.
I mean, you are now a multi-award winning. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You still don't consider
Lost
yourself
count.
successful.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
don't.
levels to the success, clearly.
I've never. I don't. When you talk to me, do you ever feel like I'm trying to brag on you? But how is it that the people who work with me or work with me in the company are staying in premium places? How do they get there?
Yeah.
So I don't have to say it, but I know what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So people fell in love with showing what they are. I don't. I don't have to prove to you. But if you can sit down and make sense of it, that how is this guy on bricks? How is he winning there? Do you just win there because somebody talked? You can't talk your way in there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to look at the solutions and technologies you've built that makes you compete in Russia. And Russia, in BRICS, is China, Russia, India.
Yeah.
How is it that you build technology that can compete with those countries? Yeah.
Manje, are new friends allowed? New people? I was going to ask new girlfriend, but when you've got Pabi,
I've got
which is part of your circle.
I've got girls who love me, but I can't make time. You know what I mean? I can't make time for.
I know
I'm a
what
married
you mean.
person because
Yeah.
I'm concerned about what is going to be in the future when I am that person. Because then there's going to be a lot of message coming out. Don't see him like this. He used to do this. I'm afraid of what I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Even when I
So
was
you're
in high
keeping
school.
it clean,
Yes.
like you're keeping it.
In high school, I told my teacher, "You're wrong. That's wrong." And she says, "Well," and I said, "You should be proud that you have me in this class because I'm going to be."
Wow.
And I am already living in that. But obviously, I talk with visions and whatever. But
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing right now, do you know anybody from Louis Tricia who can compete with what I've done so far? And it's just 5 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You can just imagine what the next 5 years is going to hold. When you see that 5 years, what is it looking like?
So because your network is your net worth. And as you see me moving, look at who I'm working with.
Okay.
If I'm able to work with that large company from an international company and I'm sitting with them and I'm moving all this, transferring all this money, who got me there and why am I there? And in 5 years, where I am if I'm working with that person? Because I don't just have one. I'm working with large companies in multiple. And I'm an African face. Because now when you talk about continental entrepreneur, who received the best CEO, best tech CEO in Africa? Do you know anyone?
No.
This is me. So how do I become
Wow.
the best tech CEO in Africa? You see, all I'm saying is
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what's quantifying me now.
Yeah.
It's a sequence and series of what is going to be. Because when I was in Rwanda, I was sitting with the president of Rwanda. I was sitting with the Minister of Innovation.
What are you talking with the president?
What
of
am I
Rwanda?
talking about?
Yeah, solutions, right?
Yes.
Is it still the same thing?
Now I am a representation of innovation and technology in the continent. That's what I am.
I think just to come in there.
Yeah. Yo, Maano.
The
Yo.
ghost is back.
Yes.
Okay, we've got a ghost. Let me introduce you. My bad. I didn't introduce in the beginning. You know how excited we get when we start this
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
I thought we need to have another voice. I want Mulalo to jump on because, like I said, I've interviewed a lot of times, and there's
feel it.
always something that I'm getting, no doubt. But I thought I want to hear what somebody else.
He also has feel it. I've worked with.
You've worked with him before. What happened there? Why?
I don't know. I ask him.
Okay, I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah, I think I was going through a lot, Mr. Banks, thanks for the opportunity.
Yes.
I think when Maano Media was starting out, I think Mr. Banks embraced me. He took me in and he made me feel like I'm worth a lot.
Yeah.
So most of what is here now probably started really flourishing from that space.
Wow.
But I think from then I've since grown a lot till now.
Yes, nice.
A lot of credit to you, Mr. Banks. A lot of credit. I just felt I was going through a lot
Yes.
work-wise, because now the transition of breaking.
Yes, it's the hard part.
Yeah, there was a breaking point in me where I was like, nah, man, I'm not. There's
Yeah.
something happening.
It happens.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is I already know, even when I talk to you, you have to be, you see, how can I say this? If you plant a seed in a rock, it might not grow. You have to plant it in a soil that allows it to grow. Words can be seeds that you plant in people's mind. If I'm with you and you are planting a seed on me, it grows because it's the right soil.
It's fertile ground, yeah.
I've always been like that to everybody. If you become successful after meeting me, I'm proud of that because I am.
Yeah, and I think what I didn't really come back and tell him is the fact that he's the reason I left, but I want to spin this. The seed that he planted created a rift in my life personally. So I felt like, you know what, I need to go and, sort this out. It wasn't really because he did something, just that the seed that he planted forced me now to dive deeper into myself.
Yeah.
So I needed that peace, that resilience, that silence to say, I need to reanalyze my stuff.
Yeah.
But the question I wanted to ask back to the podcast now
Yes.
was to say, because we've got a very good community of South African people that I believe are capable of a lot, and Mr. Banks is one of those examples. I always hear the data analytics subject thrown around, especially within our SMEs, our small to medium enterprises. What I wanted to ask really is, Mr. Banks, where do you feel that where do you think South Africans as a whole are getting it wrong in terms of the smaller businesses, this analytics, digital language? Where are they missing it? Because I feel like it's a powerful tool. There's just a few things that we as a community are missing. And
We don't
for
get.
for the person sitting at home thinking, wow, I've got access to a specialist, an expert today. I'm just wondering, where are they missing it?
Yeah.
So I'll ask it like this. Have you encountered a prophet? Have you met a prophet?
I have. Whether they were a true prophet or
No,
not.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If a guy comes to you and say, your future from tomorrow, you're going to be moving like this, like that, and if you move like this, there was going to be a problem here. But if you move straight like this is your future.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you move and still turn here to figure it out here, to
No.
get in trouble, or you move straight?
Move straight.
A data science person using historical data can help you see the future. But because numbers are limiting the future tense of what is going to be, they can help guide you of how the performance has been. So you can help predict. That's why they talk about prediction, forecasting, time series. Those are models we build to help you predict the future movement or the future event. But now when you connect the numbers with your actual intelligence, wisdom, you get to connect the future and know how to move next. So what people need to be doing from their product level, who is buying my product? What type of customer am I targeting? Where are they based? What is the tone of voice when I talk to that customer? Then now, where do this customer live? What is the average earnings, and where do they spend their budget? Where is their wallet going? And how much can I increase my wallet within a month from her? You know what I mean? You unpack the blueprint per month, per week, and per day. You start working on the blueprint. That's what analytics is. You are trying to help yourself understand where it is. The other thing they do is, let me ask you, if you grew up in where?
In the East End, Spruitview.
In East.
Yeah.
If you know that customers are buying within Spruitview and there's a potential of customers buying in Midrand and Centurion, would you only operate in Spruitview? Why? Because you can see the
you've got-
potential.
Yes.
What people have been taught in the continent is to think that Zimbabwe is not the market for you. Botswana is not the market for you. In fact, they even feel like, I do not want to associate myself with a Zimbabwean, with a Zambian. My brother, that's where you're getting it wrong, because your market is limited. You're performing with 10 people and you are saying they don't buy from me. Yes, they've got already people who are targeting them. But as I move in the continent, I don't mind whether I'm making money in South Africa. I have a company in Botswana. Just last night I called them, these guys from F&B to do authorization because there was big authorization money that was supposed to move in there. I've got company in Zambia, in Botswana, in Rwanda. The market is large.
Yeah.
So what they are failing is extending the market and also understanding their product and the target market.
So also what I'm understanding is there's a lack of awareness, general awareness in terms of business. And
Knowledge, yes.
Yeah. So people are doing business on a day-to-day. They're not really prospecting and analyzing their business.
Yes, they don't understand the market size. If I say, what's your market size within what you're doing? You know? I'm saying, what is the wallet in the category you are in? Because in the category that I'm in, you know the companies are in the top level. Top 10 companies are in the categories that I'm in. That's the market, that's my space I'm in. So what I'm fighting on in the continent is to awaken people as I move. But as that happens, like Jack Ma built Alibaba in China, it took some time. But as that happens, you become the only one. So people always compare me with a person who's not a revolutionary. When I'm working in Rwanda, they don't ask, they know. They recognize me in those places because I speak a message that connects to them. When I was in Rwanda, they invited me in a university called African Leadership University, one of the best knowledge in the continent. And how am I invited by the top level guys to go and speak at the university? It's because they associate my knowledge with their students and what they want to get across.
Are we just not thinking big enough? Because this is basic stuff. This is stuff that
Yes.
you know, basic.
Yeah, just brainwashed.
Your target market. Who's
Yes.
your target market?
Yes.
You know, how old are they?
Yeah.
You know, they always, in marketing, also say create a client avatar.
Yeah.
Who
I
is buying
understand.
from you? That's like simple enough.
It's-
But why
yes.
is it not translating? Why aren't our businesses growing? Why
And-
aren't we? What is missing? What does that even mean?
I don't think they know the market. I'm saying there is no relationship between the market and going to market. They just have an idea of what the market is.
Okay.
And if you don't understand who you are talking to, how do you communicate to a person you don't know? So what is important is to know the market, but also know branding and marketing. That's what all the big corporate, think of any company that you know, they know how to make you, to attract you. They don't, have you seen Pick and Pay say, come buy from us if, no man.
They know what to say. Somehow they know how to.
Have you seen Samsung doing that? Have you seen iPhone? Those are the top level corporates. Have you seen PPC Cement calling you, say, come buy our cement every day? No. You have to build something that value on everybody. If you want to build a quality house, you need a quality cement. You know what I mean? So in your product, in what you go and how you go into the market, what is it that you're selling that will make everyone come to you? About analytics advertising, if you want data-driven solution, if you want systems that are advanced and have AI that will help you understand your big data in real time, you go to analytics. Do you know any other company that is emerging that is in competition with analytics advertising?
No, I don't know any.
That's the point.
I'm going to attempt to do something with Small Business Runway though, because what I'm hearing is very loud. Like what I'm hearing you say, like very clearly, is the fact that you need to know what to say to the customer. It's good that you have a product. This is across
and you have
board.
an amazing product.
An amazing product, organic, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
But what do you say to the customer?
Great products doesn't always make it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why people complain, no, my product is actually good. You know, I don't even know why that one is listed. No, you don't know how to market yourself. You don't know how to position. When you get to a buyer in Pick and Pay, he will tell you, you don't have audience. So if I put your product on the shelf, it won't move.
Yeah.
So,
we need to figure out what to say.
and once you do, everything is organic. That's why you see the local brands that are emerging, they're able to penetrate, because then it's not a fight. They need you more than you. Have you ever walked into Pick and Pay and there was no Coke? Coke, Pick and Pay needs Coke. Coke does not need Pick and Pay. If you have a well attractive product, everybody needs you. You don't need them. When in the service business, there's a guy that I always reference, Dr. Sibi. He was a doctor. He was used to heal HIV and many other diseases. As soon as people started recognizing Dr. Sibi, his house had a queue. He didn't have to do any marketing, because it's not marketing that is important. It's the being known for what you do that is important. So whenever you do your marketing, it's to get the message across. So people have great products and great whatever, but they might not cut it because they're not owning the industry. Or so let me say this: it's about owning the category. Okay. What I mean by this is, I don't know how to say some of the things without being complicated, but in a dishwashing liquid, which product is the face?
I mean, it's sunlight.
In toothpaste, which product is the face?
Colgate.
in data analytics and data science in Africa, which company is the face?
Analytics advertising.
That's the point.
In small businesses, in entrepreneurship ecosystem, in empowerment.
That's the point.
In education and alleviating poverty and unemployment, it's small business Runway.
Then you have to own the category.
Okay.
When it comes to data analytics, I've seen people say, no, I do this. When it comes to reference and people referencing a person, I have people from South Carolina, from where we're calling and even referencing me, people who work for Google, work for Microsoft, that this is the guy that you can talk to. When it comes to that, you have to own the industry. That's why my competitors are the big 4 consulting companies, even if they decline it. But how is it that I have companies that were their clients?
I think I've got a term that you guys are looking for. It's thought leader mentality.
Thought leadership.
I think we've discussed this previously to say, be a thought leader in the space. So when someone,
100%.
So within your WhatsApp group, people that check your status every day, you just think yourself in terms of rank. If there's someone else who's doing what I do, who's got a business expo, who's ranking? Who would be number 1? So
I'm telling you, business expo, it's me. I'm owning that space.
I feel that.
And
I
a lot
respect
of people
that.
are coming in and they're doing events, new events. There's always new events. But no, small business Runway is.
But that's a good thing. You know why? They are helping. They are helping expand the market. So, you don't compete. When I'm doing this, no entrepreneur that I've seen in South Africa, even in the continent maybe, in South Africa that can compete with me doing this. Nobody.
Also, I think bringing it back to the viewer who's, smaller, let me say so, we shouldn't really strive to compete with bigger markets before we dominate the ones we're in now. So when you penetrate the market, you penetrate it at different levels. So where you are, let's talk about your WhatsApp following, because honestly, that's why I used to make my money with my camera. I mean, I would make sure that you would see my status every day and I would be doing something different. So with that specific, because it's a market, it's a platform, it's a following. What are you leading in that space before we speak of bigger spaces?
I agree with that. It's about being first, not being the best. It's about being first.
Being first.
And when you are first, you become the best. Automatic.
Let's get to that, because when I try to book you for my events, Banks, now you're charging 80K. Like, you went from doing favors for me to saying, no, my sister, 80K. Now, 80,000.
But the price I gave you,
straight up.
The price I gave you, isn't that my sister?
Okay, yeah, it is. No, but I'm just saying,
no, if I don't do that, you won't understand the importance of having me around you.
The value.
You would always feel like I'm always available for you. I'm always. But I have to make you know this. And the level you are tapping into is greatness. And you should know that you pay for everything. Everything that I'm living, everything. If I open my phone, everything. Everybody's talking to me about money. Everything I'm paying. Nobody's talking to me to help me. No. No. Every time, if anybody's talking to me, I have to be paying. That's what's happening.
I don't know anyone within my circle that will make that much money talking. I mean,
I've increased it now because I won the BRICS and entrepreneur.
So tell me, do you have someone who manages you where you're talking? How does it work?
I manage myself at the moment. I know my team helps me, but I manage myself because my bookings are coming consecutively in different ways. So if I have somebody managing this, they will tell you I'm booked. But me, I can tell you I'm available even if it's 1 hour after, because I'm gonna make time for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I'm just getting to a level where maybe in 2 years, 3 years, I'll be having a jet or something. Where I'll be like,
that's
what I want to get to.
That.
I want to get to that.
That's where you're going. Man, run a runway. This has been absolutely amazing. Banks, I can talk to you for hours and hours and hours, because there literally is knowledge at every single point
Yeah.
that we talk. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked data, we talked analytics, we talked branding.
But you wanted to ask me other things, lifestyle.
I did want to ask you lifestyle. I did want to ask you lifestyle. I did want to. Okay, let's get into that lifestyle. I did touch a little bit on it, but when I said so, are you open to kind of new friendships? Are you, because I think the higher you climb, the more kind of careful you have to be about who's in your circle, the energies, protecting your space and things like that. Are you worried more about that now, or is it? Do you really believe that your intuition and your discernment will make the decisions for you, kind of?
I used to be very much open, but I don't receive the same energy back. You give people your foot, they want your whole leg. You know what I mean? So the more I open myself, the more it's like, oh, I can get more from him. He's stupid.
Jeez.
People look for opportunity every time they see me. And I am giving. I've provided. Before I even started analytics, I've created so many millionaires. That's why it made me believe I can do it. But if I'm doing this, I have to be so open that it works. And because I've been so open and available, it made people feel like, oh, he's accessible. I can just talk to him. And that's what made me reserved. So now I don't have friends. I don't.
Yeah. So who do you have coffee with on a random?
My father.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
My father, I was going to be here with him.
Yeah. The
Oh,
other question
for
is,
real?
how has your life changed? So as your business transitions, I mean, I'm asking on your behalf. Tina, 'cause as your business transition, how's it on the positive and the negative? How has it impacted your personal life?
It has impacted it because I get people who want to spend time with me, meetings, but they are not fruitful. I have been saying things to, now I'm tired of saying things to somebody who won't receive my words. So that's what, when I'm here and I'm talking to you, when you become, just know I said it first. You know what I mean? Because I know. So there are people that I talk to that won't receive me. So that impacts my relationship with them. But what has happened is, on the positive side is, I'm now able to, I'm comfortable in how I see things and how I envision things. When I'm working, I just know it's going to work before I don't have to consult. And whoever I'm talking to, because now I've made friends in top level, people who run large organizations, I can even ask them. I never used to ask anybody, what do you think? Now I ask them, what do you think about this? They say, no, I've seen actually somebody who's doing this, but if you position it like this, I'm getting right knowledge from right people. But in my personal space, that's why I had to move where I was staying. I moved to somewhere else. It's just, it's not normal, but it's helping me sustain my life. Because you cannot have somebody around you who's going to get out and say, I'm actually around him, and I don't think, I think what he's doing, I can also do. They don't receive it as, you don't appreciate the presence I'm giving you. You look at it like, what else can I take from him? Because he won't see me.
I guess you're in that space where when you start to adopt a certain profile, you start to fail in terms of discerning the people's intentions.
Yes.
There's a lot of buzz.
Yes.
So now you don't know
That's
You
what
don't
I'm
know who's
saying.
who, and you end up missing the right people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
The right people, you end up saying no to whatever, and they are right for you. But everybody you're meeting in that level is just meeting you for other people. There are other people also who want benefits for giving me opportunity.
Yep. There's a lot of
Yeah.
that in South Africa today. On my TikTok.
Yeah, we have to say thank you. Mulung bonge. I think there's that
Yes.
culture of cool drink.
Yeah, but I don't do briefcase. That's the point. So when I'm doing this, even from the beginning, it wasn't about briefcase. Either you're taking me or not, but does not mean that I won't make it. That's why I'm in bricks without the briefcase, and that's why I'm available and visible, because I don't have anything to hide. When you saw I won 3 analytics, won
Yes.
3 awards.
Yes.
Management of system, sustainability, and overall excellence in technology. The person who gave me award for sustainability is the CEO of SARS. You don't get a CEO of SARS to give you if you don't pay.
Yes.
Wow, man. Bulalo, any last comments?
No.
As we wrap up.
I'm just grateful for your presence.
Yeah.
As you
Thank you.
go up, we'll keep calling you.
Thank you.
Because we believe that these are sort of the small nuggets of giving back to the,
Yeah, this is the platform.
Yeah.
No, 100%. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it for what it's going to be.
Yeah.
When it is, don't forget to call me.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. When it is, don't forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
know
where
what
it's
you
going.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
And we're grateful. We're grateful to have you on this journey. We don't ever want to, claim that we did it alone. It takes an effort, and for you to actually be here with your busy schedule, with your 80K per hour rate.
No, but that's
huh?
nothing to analytics.
With all the, I know. So it's a whole nother conversation about the level that Runway is going on. We're on a runway, baby, and don't make the mistake of not getting on the ride. Anyway, Banks, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of the Runway podcast and Maano Media, as well as Opulenta, our partner for the podcast, would like to just thank Mr. Banks.
Thank you so much.
For being here, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Anybody that you think can benefit from this, conversation, share it so that we can grow the Runway podcast community. From me to you, and Muraro
Adios.
in the background as it goes. It's nothing but love. Cheers, guys.